All right, guys. Hello. How you doing? We're gonna be doing like I promised, the G2 against Heroic on Inferno, the IEM Dallas. This was a best of three, but we're gonna do one map. It's G2's pick. That they're good on Inferno, and we're gonna see they're playing Phase today, and they're probably gonna play that map in one of the scenarios. So I do think it's will be valuable to see what they did on the map. They picked against Heroic, which they heavily lost, even though they won the pistol and converted into 3-0. But let's get into the demo. G2 Heroic Inferno. So, like I said, it's Friday today, so it's just the day of the quarterfinals in Dallas in the arena. As my cat is trying to ruin the video, but I know you all love it. And Mitsa ne može da bude tu. And there you go. So, like we said, obviously, because this was G2's pick, Heroic started on the CT side, and we already can see a lot of utility on this side. This is when you have this type of utility, so 3 smokes, 2 mollies, and a flash. It usually means that you can go towards either B, and then you can execute with smoke, molly, and maybe a molly here or molly there. You can just cut off the left side, or if you wanna, cut off this, we call it the dark or back triple. That's like 2 mollies, and then you still have 1 smoke plus 1 flash if you want to resmoke this or that, and then that's the most kind of obvious scenario. The other option, when you have so much utility, is to smoke off this, that, and balcony, and then you jump out, try to take site after like an anti-push setup that you have in the beginning of the round. The other option is obviously just smoking balcony and or site, and just try to clear obviously this and this, and trying to clear into pit. There's so many options, but let's see what G2 went for. It's obviously when you start like a slower default on the pistol like they do, you can make a different type of call based on what you see on the side of the CTs. So this is just a slow default. JKS is clearing any kind of pushes here. Rest of the guys are sticking close to each other. This is pretty standard so far. See where Nico is. He's gonna get the flash to clear the close right, maybe. No. So basically they are allowing Nico to clear it by himself. And if there is a flash flying in from the CTs, Hunter is gonna throw the counter flash, and then they're gonna fight. So this is the idea, but obviously no one peeked, and Nico is allowed to search even further. At this point, he commits himself, gets a kill on Tessus. Now the smokes needs to come in right now, and JKS needs to make a decision if he wants to sit here or he wants to be aggressive lurk. Right now he's in a really tough spot, so if he goes forward, he can be in a bad timing, and if he goes backwards to help with the trades, he's gonna be in a bad timing. He can get killed from, just because of the timing is bad. So he decided to stay for now, and if he stays even more, that would be good, as long as he goes back there and doesn't go to the CT. So let's see what happens. Well, I don't know why Nico and Huxi were fighting alone there. Let's see if we can get that jump back. So yeah, we are here. Let's see how it looks from the Yabi's perspective. So Nico is just clearing. He gets the kill. He's flashing. Fuxi should have traded that. Monesi was oh my god. Monesi was trying to get the angle from the ruin, so Fuxi didn't really trade that one. It's kind of on him, but the duelies are kind of difficult to kill a bunch of times. Hunter used the timing. They know somebody should be here, right? Yeah, they know Shush is here. Good trades from JKS. A little bit crazy when it comes to the entering the side. They're all over the place. Not the spacing you kind of want. If Shush got that kill from the first bullet, it could be very dangerous. But he didn't, and then just get a trade. And Monesi picked up 2 kills, which we didn't see, but it doesn't really matter at that point. They were on A side anyway. Even if Monesi died, it would be a 2v2 and still advantage for the T's. Let's see what they call on the second round. Now, Heroic buys here. First flash, Tessus is aggressive. Shush is aggressive. Looks like they're going for something aggressive. Now, the way you see that the way they set up here, like they have Guardian covering like anybody, being super fast, and 2 people are in top middle, and then we also have Shush who is going aggressive holes, and there is obviously nobody B. So they decided to go with something super aggressive in case G2 tries to go aggressive themselves on middle, which is not, you know, unusual for the T's. Maybe it's a counter strat, maybe it's something they noticed. It's whatever. So let's see what they do. They decided to wait a little bit and swing together, I assume, yeah. There's nothing going on, so Kadian should be covering down. Yeah, they're swinging, smoking deep so they can take cover, so they can just take that space. Now, the T's have banana here, right, which is pretty good. And in this type of scenarios, you want to do 2 things. The very thing they're doing right now, just keep waiting for this smoke to fade, and then Tessus will be exposed, Stamny will be exposed. It's like super difficult, especially because you have JKS here, so you cannot get flanked, right? It's super difficult to flank, so G2 is controlling the situation in this moment, like 100% controlling the round, especially because they have Hooksy and Nico so deep in banana, and they can't see any smokes, any flashes, anything like from the CTs that's happening. So they are in full control. I like the bomb being here, so anything happens, you know, crazy, it can still go back, or Justin can pick it up, or there is a lot of options. So even though it looks like the CTs are, you know, aggressive and stuff, the Ts are in control of this round completely. Hooks is getting a flash from Nico. He cleared top banana. Now it's getting even easier. And you can see that as the smokes are about to fade, it's going to be a backing off from the CT, so it's going to be a fight. In any case, the G2 is going to have the advantage in whatever happens. So they decided to, you know, get to fall back, and Justin caught somebody on the flank. Right here, we missed that, but it doesn't really matter. And now it's on G2 to do whatever they want, right? Now they can just call anything they want. They decided to go B, smoke, molly, triple. They're going in together, very nice. No flashes though, but still pretty decent. There is no chance for the CTs anymore to do anything in this round. Even Justin backed off completely to watch the flank from Banana, which is a pretty good timing to be here, so he's gonna control this area right now, and the CTs have to back off. They had a shot with this smoke right here, and if they can get a shot or 2, and the second shot was here, maybe that Shush is gonna get somebody, you know, from the flanking position, but it didn't happen, and the round was pretty much over. So good job so far for G2. You know, they opened up the half pretty good. No deaths, no nothing. Just very few deaths, I mean, in the anti-force fight. So they decide to go again with a little bit anti-push setup. Even Hooksy with the Mac 10. He's not going super deep, but they decided to kind of speed it up a little bit right here. Now at this, well, he kind of swung. This like Nico wanted to use the molly to kind of get the advantage on when he peaks, but it's kind of risky, especially if you have Galil here. So I wouldn't recommend this. And obviously there is a stack here. Nico could have been easily dead here, and it would be 4v5. And you know that the CT saved a couple of, you know, pistols and the armors they bought in the previous round. So it's a little bit risky here from Nico, but luckily he doesn't get killed. And let's see what they call. It's a grenade with CT. Good damage from Cadian. Shush cannon progress. They try to retake banana. They get traded. Now the reason why Heroic did this is because they have to make something happen with the guns they have. And it's a very valid play. Obviously, it didn't work out. There is a small percentage this works out. In most of the cases, I don't think it's going to happen all that much unless these make mistake. So you'll see here, they got the grenade. Now, they try to surprise G2 here, but it didn't really happen, and they lost the banana completely. Justin is super defensive. He's not allowing any flanks. So far so good. Oh my god. So far so good. So let's see what it. Hunter dies. That's a bit unnecessary for Hunter. They're super slow for some reason, but they still ended up going big, and this should be a clear round for G2. Yeah, so 3-0. First gun round, we see the full money on Heroic, and Cadian still has 5k besides the fact that he got an AK, so that's a little bit of a mistake from G2. Let's see what they call. the fast take from holes. Let's see what's happening with banana. A semi-fast take. Let's go back. So this is a very I like this early call from Hunter and JKS to take aggressively holes because you are up 3-0. You are controlling the tempo right now, and you see the fast molly, fast flash. He's gonna get the flash of JKS probably here. That goes into the holes. He missed it completely. He made a step too far. That's a missed flash, and they got holes pretty fast. 135. Now this is the control they need, right? This is the super good control from them. Like at 134, as you can see it right here, 134. They still have boiler holes. They force the smoke there. They force the smoke here, and they have up to the half wall. So I'm pretty sure they made a move. This is a one-way. I'm pretty sure that this is a move from Hooksy when you get the best pawn. So let's see where Hooksy is. No, he doesn't have the best pawn. Maybe he does. I'm not really sure how it works nowadays. But it's super close. I think he's gonna throw a smoke. If he dropped the smoke, he's gonna throw a molly. And he's not gonna throw anything. I guess he's spending all this to get in a position. Yeah, the one-way smoke, and this is he gets a position here. But Yabi is on the other side, right? Waiting. He's doing a move of his own. He's trying to get something done. But this is very dangerous for Yabi. What he's doing. Nico could have easily spammed the smoke, and even if he got one tag on Yabi, Yabi would be dead because Hooksy would probably kill him. Luckily for Heroic, they don't really do anything, and luckily as well that Hooksy is not really making any moves. He's waiting for somebody to swing from the right side from the sandbags or from the left side, I assume from the B side. But nothing really happens. They're in a kind of a standoff here. Now, what you want to do here, because you control the holes, you want Nico to be closer so Monesi can use the flash. You see Monesi has 2 flashes here. So in case of any trade in the smoke, Nico would like to be rather... It's better for him to be right here than right back there, because it's going to be super hard for him to trade, and there is a potential he gets killed as well. So it's a bit, the opening move was fine, but like what happened after was a little bit, it's like, yeah, we got the space, now what? There's no fights. Basically, in practices, you get the fight here all the time, and all of a sudden you are doing the same move and there is no fight, so you don't know what to do. Like I said, the correct move. Monesi has nothing to search for here, because as you can see, JKS is watching that smoke. He's not gonna, do anything because that smoke is already thrown. So he can actually go back and flash for Nico and Hooksy, so Nico can be in a position to trade Yabi. And also you can see here that he's holding a flash. Tessis is waiting for a command from Yabi to actually, flash here, and we'll see what happens, right? Let's watch Yabi. So he knows they're there. There is a molly for the retake. Smoke is fading. Probably gonna flashes. Yeah, flashes there. Because it's there. And you can see both of them are there. And Monesi is not here to trade. It's immediately 5v3. And that they even lost the control of the host. Hunter was probably coming back. The call was probably after we take B, we're gonna go B. He was trying to go back and they died, and now they're in a position where they're forced to do something and they have no positioning whatsoever. You see where Yabi is, you see where Tessis is with the smoke. They have no control of middle, they have no control of banana anymore in the round. Right here it's pretty much over. Like it's just done. And all because like a little bit of, unorganized banana control, I would say. So Monesi is trying to make something happen. Probably gets one. It's a bad trade from Heroic, but they had that extra man because they had obviously, 2-man advantage at the beginning, and Justice pretty much alone here. Now what Justice needs to do, and he usually had a problem not understanding when he needs to save, when he needs to go for it. Like he needs to grab this up and just try to run away and save, right? He tries to do it. Oh, I remember this. He misses it. Yeah, he comes back. Yeah, I remember this. Now, I don't know why he's trying to do this. Like, I guess he's maybe trying to make some damage because they have money, but they don't have so much money. As you can see here, he has 1.2k, Monesi 1.9. He could use that up. Nico can throw it for him, but For me, this is a save for Justin, and he didn't really do it, but I mean, maybe the call was to make some damage, which is not the worst he can do. See what the call is, aggressive banana, semi-aggressive banana, again, Nico is in the broomstick, whatever, broom handle. Left side banana, and he's forced to fight. It's not Nico, it's Fuxi. He gets the double opening here. Let's see what happened there before we see what happened after the round. So, Fuxi got a good spawn, he put himself out, the flash was coming. He took this space, this is very good so far. He gets a protection from the molly and probably forced out. This is Kassad mistake, he didn't trade and they forced the third person to show up and you know, go for it. Now, this is a little bit of a right now. If I'm the IHGL here, I'm calling for a straight B. You know, execute. Like I wouldn't wait for a thing. I would just pop a flash through this smoke and a smoke city, because the worst case scenario for you is that Stav is there. You know that because he killed obviously Huxi, and there can be one guy in the CT, and that would be probably Cadian with an op. So you want to go there and try to trade because you can. If you go 3-on-1, you should be trading. Even if he kills 2, it's still a decent position for you to plant a bomb. You have Justin on the flank. He's a smart guy. He can kill the rotation. It would be a good call, but they decided not to go. And yeah, I was explaining this sound, and they decided to freeze and go back. For me, that's like I said, I wouldn't do that myself. I like to explosives, yes, but you know, it's much easier to say this when we see the radar, of course, but in the game it's a little bit different. But overall, I think I would make the call to go B, despite that fact. Now, Justin has a Tech 9. He tried to take bracket and try to force the rotation, and this is also good. Even in this position, like disregard the fact that we have the radar, right? If Hunter stayed there and Justin took bracket, like that would probably in logical scenario mean that there's 2A and 1B and you want to go for it. And this is the timing that you go for it, or even if you use this smoke and a flash, just make a run for short and one long and just try to win on A. But they decided to wait a little bit more. You see they're trying to kind of split between B and long, and they forced the rotation, which was a successful thing. Like they made the right call. I mean, overall, they forced Cadian. Let's see if I can turn this off. So they forced Cadian, who was around here, to go back to CT and use some of these nades and try to help Stan. But Stan, at some point, he would realize, you know, there is only one guy, and then Cadian would be back. You can see that he's turned towards A. And at this point, Monesi, who was flashing and smoking for Nico, needs to stay about this position, right? If he pushes forward, he can be killed there, he can lose the bomb, and that's a problem. Then Nico is forced, and these two guys are forced. So he needs to stay there. Them two needs to go and try to trade whoever's inside, because that's the play you made, that's the call you made, and you need to stick with it at some point. See what they do. Now this is the mistake number one. This is a problem with comms. Justin goes alone and he dies. Like Hunter is nowhere to trade, no space to take off that information. And if you try to go here, you can be shot from there, right? Or from balcony or from Brave or whatever, right? If you try to go here, he has the positional advantage to kill you instantly. So Justin made a mistake, or Hunter made a mistake. Somebody who didn't listen to the comms, or somebody who didn't communicate and made a mistake out of those two. And that's a problem right here for G2. You can see Hunter is here, Bomb is there, Nico is there. And look at the CTs. They're covering pretty much everything. So let's see what happens there. Hunter tries to go in. He doesn't know where to look. Like obviously the CT can be inside, can be in halls, it can be graveyard, pit, library, whatever. But he's banking on the fact that, you know, the CT doesn't know that he is there. So they're going back to short, I believe. And Cadian is rotating. Let me see if... Yeah. Just keep in mind that Hunter has a smoke as well. So it's a good for Mones and Nico to walk in together. This is where Hunter hears scope. And he puts up the smoke, but Mones swings, right? The time is 7 seconds. Shush killed Nico after Cadian killed whoever that was, Monesi, and he peeked before the Hunter could smoke. So it's another, you know, miscommunication that it's a very important round. They really didn't play it well, and it's 3-2 instead of being 4-1 and having the heroic on the ropes. Now this is an eco round. You don't want to see this. Next round, round number 7. Let's see what happens here. Defensive banana. Now you see they're not really fighting it. They don't want to really go into this fight because they lost it so far. They start to go a little bit more defensive. Also defensive towards holes. They're sticking together. You know that usually teams, you know, you saw how they took it the last time. Justin Hunter was running in. Justin was flashing from around here, I believe, through there. That was like a fast take. This is like a slow take, but when they go through, that's just teams usually have this different type of plays where they take space on their own part of the map. So it's just fine so far. Nico took banana, half banana, so he kind of blocks off the possibility for heroic to go 4A unless they gamble. So far so good for G2. So let's see what happens there. So they're taking holes very slowly. No mistakes. They don't need to swing together probably here. Yeah, they go together. There is no info, there is nothing. And 120, they still have what I need. Now, in this case, usually what you want to do on T side is, if this gets re-smoked, like by Yavi, for example, if this gets re-smoked, then you go for smoking this and try to take bracket. That's normal play, or you can insta-call for some sort of a holes pop. Monesi can join Hunter and JKS, Hooksy can flash, and you can just explode holes without taking bracket. This is a solid call, because banana is probably occupied with at least 2 people. In normal scenario, obviously there's 4 here, but in normal scenario you want to do this. But even if you go like a normal logical approach and take this, smoke this, flash molly, and take bracket, you should be in a good position to kind of, you know, force CTs to react a little bit, and then you're in a good position, and Nico will have a decent fight here, or he will take banana. Now, let's see what they do. Taking bracket, unless he gets a kill. And they're calling them back. Now, the problem that I see here right now is that you got the kill, you got top banana, but the problem is that you have 1 flash left. 1 minute, 55 seconds left, and there is only 1 flash. There's no more flashes for the cities. Let's see how they use the flashes before we continue in this round. So at the beginning, they have 5 AKs, and they have 5 flashes. They used already 1. So there is 2 more flashes left. They use something for banana. They're playing defensively. 3 flashes left and 140 out of opening 5. That's not a good move on Inferno already. Hooks is setting up a flash if Nico, you know, asks for it. This is a iffy flash. Still go back to the holes. Hooks is still on the flash. Hunter has the flash that he needs to save. Now Hooks is probably going to use his for Nikos to take banana, and Hunter needs to save his flash. But he's faking. He's the one faking. Only he kills, and he chose this flash. Ah, this is a useless flash. That's another flash. This is a good one. Hunter threw a completely useless flash because they already got a kill. Like, why am I saying that? They already got a kill here, right? Or wherever Monesi killed. Who is that? Tessis, right? And they smoked and mollied. There is no reason for you to use the flash, especially just because you have only 2. You need that at least 1 flash to go towards B. And Justin is the only one with the flash. The only one, and he's like playing lurk. At least he could have dropped that flash somewhere, but it's just at this point it's super hard for G2, even if they have the man advantage, because Yabi has a smoke, he has a nade, Kadian has a flash for Yabi to use. You know, it's just a very difficult situation. Even if you have 5v4, and Justin needs to make a call here if he wants to lurk aggressively or he needs to go with them. I always told him, I think he forgot or changed the way he played this. Now you are in a weird spot here. Any tier 1 player will always clear for that. Even what you want to do, because you have a smoke and a flash, maybe you want to re-smoke that and re-flash and try to keep as many people as you possibly can on A, and then try to do something, or just go back to B with your teammates and flash for them, and maybe you get to close the round after all. C decided to stay here without any value whatsoever, so they might as well be 4v4 without flashes. So mistake there for Justin, mistake from Arthur. The call itself is good as any, so see how they execute. Who is first? Hooksy should be first. Let's see. FS should be first. This is another bullshit thing that, you know, should never happen. If you are a tier 1 player in tier 1 team, like, this is something that you practice. And this is also for these flashes. That sounds funny. Funny, my man, I like you, but you need to, you know, sort this shit out. This can never happen. Like, you are the coach there for many tournaments right now, and these are the things that you cannot allow to happen. And also it comes to Hooksy, like, what kind of a swing was that before the smoke? You know you don't have a flash, and there is no one behind you. Like, let's see what happens. Like, okay, unless he gets a kill. Let's see. This looks like Cadian. So Cadian understands, in order for them to win, like, he expects flashes, right? He doesn't know they don't have flashes. He understands that right now, like, if they go to B, he needs to commit to a fight. First of all, Hooksy grants him a free frag, and that's already, you know, even though it's a 5v4, we saw where Justin is. Let's see if I can hold this. You see he's in a useless position right now. He doesn't even use his utility yet now, and he's like, they're going into the B side. Just no value. He might as well be in a substitute for that boiler that's standing right there. So just useless. The second thing, like I said, Cadian understands that he needs to fight with Yavi here no matter what happens, because if they go in a retake, they're most likely going to lose, because they already have the man disadvantage. They obviously don't know, they don't have flashes, they don't know Justin is not there. Like, they assume the logical thing. And let's see how they execute. Hooksy swings before the flash. Cadian flashes, re-swings. Yavi gets a kill off his flash. Cadian gets another. Justin is cut off. The round is pretty much over, and you had 5v4. And then you allow this round to play this way. Now let's imagine. Let's just keep imagining that Hooksy didn't swing before that smoke, right? If he waited for this smoke to pop and then swings, Cadian would probably reveal his position by firing through the smoke or flash and run, which would be an easier thing to trade for G2. And also, if Justin was with them, there would be a flash to kind of chase him off that angle, and maybe flash Jabby and, you know, try to trade him better. Overall, terrible execution. This should not be allowed in tier 1 teams. Let's see what happens. They die and the round is over. Half by here. Couple of smokes. Super fast full stake. So far so good. Now Justin is trying to get the fight early on in the holes because he has an AK. He bought for himself, or he saved. He probably saved. He gets a flash. He tries to look for a kill. Nothing really happens. The other guys are playing it slow, which they should. So far so good. But now, like I said, at 125, there is no utility. Only one smoke left. There is nothing really much you can do, except if somebody walks out and tries to get a kill. It happened in the past. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult. Now, what is the call? I don't want to bother you too much with this round, because these rounds are like not very often. They're being played this way. You don't smoke small pit. They're gonna jump out for Justin and try to trade. They got a good timing because Yavi was pulling out the molly, and they got into the site. So the timing of the call was pretty good. They got into the site, but they still have a decent advantage because there is 2 mollies and they're already in the rotation, so it's not gonna be too much time before they get there. Good kill. 2v2, still a good situation for G2. See if they can utilize good positioning, right? The best they can possibly have is sight and headshot. That's fine. JKS gets a kill. And they managed to scrape this round based on the fact that, you know, they got a really good timing going into this whole spot, and it worked very well for them. So they won the pistol, couple of ecos, and they won this one. And let's see, there is a timeout, there is a bit of a just missed time for Yabi, and the fact that there was no one else in the site. So the call was timed well, and they kind of got that round pretty lucky in my opinion. But the clutch part was the good one. Honestly, took the fight. JKS took the fight. They had a good crossfire. So overall, even though they got lucky, at the end they deserved it more than Heroic did. Now this is an important round. This is where the money goes to the bin if you lose, if you're Heroic. Oh my god. So the fight here. So basically what happens here is Monesi gets a good spawn and he decides to go pick banana. That is fine. If your opponents do that from the spawn, that is perfectly normal thing to do, and it happens on every team, and it should be happening, and that's how you know your opera is getting a confidence and everything else. So it's just a normal thing. But let's see what happened on the banana after that. I'm gonna go to the God's Eye. So he gets into that position. There is a molly early on. He tries to peek. He called this Zybo peek. The molly is there to prevent any kind of CT's aggression, but he misses and they stay. And this is a problem. He misses, they stay, and nobody puts out the molly. And this is something that they didn't communicate once again. Now, let me see. I'm gonna leave the camera right here so you can see the movement between Nico and Huxi, and the fact that nobody's putting out that molly. And they didn't put out the first molly after Monesi, you know, missed a shot, or he took his shot, whatever. So they're going in right now. Monesi is going forward. There is a molly here, they didn't decide. He takes a shot, he misses. And look at this, left, right, both flashed. Nobody puts out the molly, he dies, they die, Nico dies, the round is pretty much over. So they got super flashed, both of them by single flash. Nobody put out the molly, all three died, and now the same situation happens right here. These two have to save, or they need to go for some sort of a damage. Let's see what they do. We're not gonna take too much of this round. JKS gets a kill, but it's very difficult right now. Unless the mistakes happen in multiple scenarios, it's just very difficult. Hunter is most likely going to die here. Yeah. Ian went for the clear. They try to split up and get some kills, which is a okay call. Not anything problematic there. It just didn't work this time, and it's gonna work maybe 5% of the time anyway. Unless the CTs make mistakes, so that is pretty much your only chance. A force buy here. Let's see. Aggression from Stav and Cadian. This is a good call from the CTs. I think it catches Nico completely off guard. And Hunter as well. Let's see how that worked out from... Okay. So I'm gonna go back here and there. This. So, what do you see? Stav getting down the middle and Cadian covering. I think so, right? So he drops his utility if he dies, so they have extra smokes and mollies. They get a deep molly and probably flash from somewhere. No, he didn't even get to that. Hunter was nowhere to trade. There is no one to trade early on. Monesi trades Shush, who was peeking for whatever the reason was that. See what he did. See what Cadian did and what Shush did. Cadian missed a shot. Okay, Shush was... Okay, Shush tried to Telka, he died. And then... It's pretty much over by that part. Let's go it one more time to see how Nico and Huxi react to this. You see the money is in shambles. They're trying to kind of go defensive banana. Nico is didn't really expect that whatsoever. Huxi was on a flash. Monesi. Where was Monesi? Is he on the smoke? Maybe on the smoke towards the stairs, right? Should be there. He sold about. I think Nico expected them, at least one of them, to watch that push, and nobody did, so Nico just got killed in the back, and it was just a disaster right there. And you can see those are the types of mistakes that, you know, loses you the rounds when you play tier 1 CS. Let's see what happens here. It's a half buy. Oh, it's a half buy. Looks like a B-rush. Oh, this is the round that I hate. This is the round that I completely hate. I absolutely never approve as a coach. Like, just imagine, this is just a walk-in. This is like taking candy from a baby. So easy for heroic players on the B side to deal with this. Like, who was there? Tessus, right? Let's see how it looks like from his perspective. Ross is there, Gabi is flashed, he just escapes. Tessus is there, ready. Doesn't get dinged, but it's so easy to get these kills, especially when they're running through the smokes and mollies. And it's just so goddamn easy. And even like, this is what I'm trying to understand when the mindset of Huxi, for example, whoever is called, I don't even know, I don't really care. The thing is, like, you won one of those rounds before by going slow and then going into a mid-round call, examining some, you know, seeing some space, trying to feel the CTs, and then you exploded in the whole tune. Luckily, you get a good timing, but sometimes that's fine too. And they decide to rush B here with the half buy. Like, it makes no sense. It's like, okay, let's forget what worked for us, just try something stupid and just go for a B rush. Anyway, the round is over there. 7-4, the T score a timeout. Let's see what they call after this timeout. It's a full gun round. Containing Banana, he's not really like aggressive, that's fine. Nico is covering the push now. They're playing for Banana, you can see they faked default and going for Banana hit, but Cadian gets policy from boost, I believe, and they take Banana. Now, right now, I think the call is pretty simple here. Once you're in this position and you already use your default nades and you didn't get holes, and it's very hard to come back because you're man down, it's 120. At this point, you just call B and hope for the best. Like, it's very difficult to get anything going unless the CTs make mistake, but CTs won't be making mistake because Hayden is here, Shush is alone, Stavn is here, B is controlled, your utility is garbage, you still have one flash left, maybe there was one left here on Monacy, but probably not, and then you need to execute something. At this point, with one flash, you just go for B. Nico is trying to prevent them from retaking Banana. He's risky because he's alone, he eats a nade, and he goes back. Now, he should have got 2. Let's see how he got 2. Okay, he's alone. Stam is playing aggressive. Stam is going, well, this is very risky if you are CT, right? But you want your players to use their instincts to do this. Like, you don't want to, you know, disapprove of this. You don't want to kill their confidence, because most of the times this play will be resulting in a win for you, right? Simply because it's going to allow you so much information. It's going to allow you to win the round. Sometimes you're going to be punished and you're going to be dying and you're going to be losing the round. Now, this right here, what happened is, like, he pushed holes. Now, if JKS was dead instead of Monesty, I would completely understand, but JKS is still alive. You know that he's super defensive, he likes to lurk, so pushing this was pretty risky from Stan, but luckily it was good for him and for Heroic, because he got these informations, right? And he's like looking for Hunter, he sees 2 people coming back, and then you see the G2 guys accelerating towards middle. I'm gonna go remind again. They're accelerating towards middle because they think that all of them are rotating to B, which is a normal, regular call that you need to, you know, just a reactionary call for G2. So, and I missed it again. I'm so stupid. Okay, I'm gonna play it from here. Now let's see the way they go in. Huxi tries to use this. He jumps in alone. JKS is nowhere behind him. Hunter is delayed. Now, this can be, you know, interpreted as a Hooksy mistake, but I think he made the right play. I think he expected there is nobody in bracket, but Shush was there, and you know the problem is that he didn't get traded because Justice was too far and he got the double. If they got a trade, then him and Hunter would probably go in short and have some sort of a post plan with Nico Lurk. You know, the trade didn't happen, and they're gonna lose this round, and that is it. So 8-4 so far. It's 3 pistol and 2 conversions, like 1 2 0 3 0, and then anti, then that 4 spy, whatever it was, like 1 AK. So those are the rounds they won so far. Now they go for a half buy, alt middle. Now they're going a little bit into a whole spot, but Kaden finds Nico, and they're charging right now. Trying to charge. They got a good timing, I guess, but this time they didn't catch anybody off with their pants down, so it was a pretty easy round overall, and Kaden got that opening. Now we go into another gun round. Let's see what the call is here. Slow default. They don't want to fight for banana. They kind of want to deny the control for the cities, and they're going super aggressive towards middle. And they use utility, but they didn't go in. And now you are in a bit of a pickle, right? Is that the right word? Because you used a bunch of utility on banana, and you're going to use your utility right here. So the idea was to take bracket fast, but this molly stopped them. Then Hooksy made a call to put it out. The flash was bad. If Hooksy got in, he would probably be dead. They decided to stay, but they have a problem right now because they used mollies, flashes, smokes, and smokes here, and they have control of nothing except for the deep holes that Justin kind of took by himself. Let's see, where is it? Number 9. So he gets all of this. It's actually, this is the only thing that you got from all of this utility and all of this, you know, rotations and the entry of the round. But you spent so much to gain so little. This is not the worst position to be in, but it's very bad right now. And you don't know what to call. The only thing that's good for you is that you have 3 flashes right now. You don't have any mollies to clear anything. Back pit, back triple on B, whatever. Like, you cannot really clear anything. You cannot really clear sandbags on B, and you don't have banana. So it's quite difficult for you right now. Heroic doesn't know that, but you are in a tough spot right now. So let's see what they call. It's a little bit of a freeze. They try to take banana back. You see how defensive they are because they have no bracket control. They cannot peek because the op can re-peek anywhere. Kaden showed himself multiple times on B, multiple times on, you know, on A as well. So it's just very difficult to predict where he's gonna go. Now this Nico spotted this smoke coming from side. Monesi tried to get something on B, and now the final call comes into an A split. Now I do believe this in these scenarios, what you wanna call, like when you're gonna call an A split like this, it doesn't really matter what you think where the cities are, because they can be anywhere. It can be here, here, anywhere on A side, right? Doesn't really matter. Maybe the call was like they're playing defensive because Nico saw that smoke bouncing off the wall into the roof into the middle, and then that's why he maybe suggested they will go A. But it's just a guess. I don't know what happened. So the idea, what you want to do, either send 3 people to run up because you have 1 2 smokes to smoke off this, smoke off that, and flash a couple of times. Send 3 people to run there. 2 of them running. 1 is anti-flash, and then, you know, you flash what you can. Usually this from Justin, because Justin has 2 flashes. And then you try to get into the site, and while your opper is covering this angle for any repeaks. That's the logical call. The other one can be 1 long, 3 short, 1 holes, with you mollying, but they don't have a molly, but smoking either site or balcony or just small pit, and trying to, you know, create a commotion and try to win around that way. Let's see what they do. So the smokes are coming in. So they decided to go for a 1 long, 3 short, and 1 holes. Now the problem with it, the call per se is not the worst. The problem that you can see here, Hooksy is all the way here, and they're just only there. Like, you can enter the site like that, because Hooksy gets killed, all the attention is going here. So it needs to be simultaneously executed in a way, right? That's the basics of CS. I'm not like really selling you anything crazy here, just the basics, right? The problem is with that one, because Monesi is the one flashing, as far as I can see. Yeah, there's a flash going on. There is only 2 people going up short and 1 going up long, while Justin is still the one with the utility and trying to flash. So you're basically attacking the site with 3 people instead of 4 or 5, which is a problem immediately. On top of the fact that Hooksy is way, way faster than your team right now. The team should be here. Monesi doesn't really need to flash this. He needs to be with the team. These flashes will be sufficient for you to enter the site. Let's see how the round plays out. See, Hunter dies, all the attention is towards Zay. They managed to get into the site fair and square 3 versus 3, but they did enter the site against 2 players. Now, like I said, it's the call itself was not the worst. It could have worked, obviously, and the execution part was just not very. There was a player, one more player towards Zay. The round is pretty much over, and that should be it. Hunter gets a kill, Justin gets another one. It's 9-5. So they managed to win the first proper gun round, fair and square. Very last one. Fast, boiler control. They're playing defensive banana because they got smashed a few times and they just want to play it defensive. Monesi gets it, not Monesi, Cadian gets it 3 times already this half. Kill on middle, which is a problem. Everything happened in the gun rounds all the time. So Hunter dies too. Let's see how that happens. See Cadian. He looks for it. Okay. He missed it. Flash was good, but he peeked behind. I see this is very risky from Cadian, but he got what he needed and then he rotated immediately. A fake smoke swing. Again risky, went his favor and the round is pretty much over at that point. So let's skip on the second half. Now the thing is, like I said, G2 made a lot of mistakes. You could see it in the half, and outside of the pistol and the 2 following rounds, they only got 2. So they got a total of 5 after you win the pistol and convert the anti-force. It's too little, even you're playing a tier 1 CS. So let's see what they do on the city. Come on. See what the setup is. They have 2 sets of nades. Starting 4A and Nico B alone with the nades. Now the idea here, right now, I'll tell you immediately what happens in this kind of pistol. This is not the first time that G2 is doing this pistol. It's not the first time a team is doing this pistol. So basically you have 2 people there trying to push off any A hits. If they go towards B, Nico will drop a nade either there or for the plant or in the pool or whatever, and he needs to fall back right here and contain the CT, so you don't get the control of the pool CT. You let them take this if you want, and then you resmoke this. The banana guys will smoke that, and then you go for a defuse because the bomb will usually get planted here, and it's very difficult to kill the, if it's on a pistol, a guy who is defusing. So the idea is to go 4 towards there, smoke that, flash, and then go. So Nico just needs to go back and survive. Heroic looks like they're gonna go towards B, sorry. So Nico hears the steps. He plays it smart. So he doesn't overextend. Nobody hears anything. So he sees the nades. He doesn't use it immediately. Like I said, the bomb goes to the pool. He tries to spam, goes back to contain. And you see Cadian takes the bait and he jumps to it. Now Nico just needs to stay here. Basically the idea for him would be the perfect perfect decision for him to be this, because you can see the 4 CTs are running towards there, probably gonna smoke this, so he needs to smoke that or smoke this. But this would be a little bit more risky, this would be a bit more safer, and then he needs to connect with his teammates and kind of finish the round for that. So he decides to contain this area because they didn't take it already, and he plays it a little bit risky, right? He lets go of CT, and then Yabi, yeah, he takes the bait, same as well Cadian did, and he goes through the smoke and dies because that was his only move there. Now, after this, the finishing of the round was pretty easy, and then we have the pistol for CTs. Let's see what the call is right here. Nico get the M4 because he got 2 kills. A nade. This might be an anti-strat. Now this is this is something that I personally wouldn't recommend to everyone watching this, like to do this at home, because not many players can get this kind of triple kill, like even with a flash like this, because this is very risky. Players that are with higher skill, it doesn't have to be Nico, it can be any with a higher skill from any team can do this, but if you put a weaker player into this position, he might get only 1 or maybe even 2, and that puts you in a very difficult spot because you lose the gun, they overrun B, and you're not in a good position even on B because you flashed for the guy running in. Now this is quite risky, but it worked out. They used this play probably multiple times, and you can see the Hooksy is on the flash, propose it, boom, got fully blind, 1, 2. Should have been traded him, but you know, he got that kill too, and with a 4v2 right now, the G2 is controlling this round and finishing it up. So it's 10-7. They saved 1 gun. Cadian saved the 10-4 for some reason. And he has 1.7k. I guess he's gonna get enough money in the next one to kind of afford the gun. So they decide to go slow, drain the utility of the CTs, and try to, you know, try to get something going. Maybe CTs open up, they make a mistake. But not really, they're going towards A. Honestly, gets 2 in a decent spot. Maybe he could be in a little bit better position, but this is good as any. JKS is alone. The only thing he doesn't need to allow is to bomb to the planted. He does a good job, 10-8. And now we get into a first gun round. Let's see what Heroic calls and how G2 plays it. Semi-aggressive banana, couple of grenades. Nico still has a full set. Cooksy doesn't have anything. Now this is a good thing, right? Right now I'm gonna pause here right now. This is not a bad thing. This is not a bad call to leave. Did I write GG here? This is not a bad thing to call, because Nico can control this for a good amount of time, especially because there is a smoke here. If the T's try to do something, they have to clear this, so that buys Nico a little bit more time, so he can play with utility and kind of call the rotation. Hooksy has a flash, does he? Yeah, Hooksy has a flash and has a full kit he picked up, I think, from the spawn. So all in all, it's not a bad opener. Let's see how they opened up in halls. So this is aggressive hall setup. This is nothing new. You know, it's the first gun round. You want to try something like this. This is called good as any. Maybe it's an anti-strat. Maybe you know what timings they use to climb up the boiler, how they play on the alt middle. But overall, not bad. As long as you end up winning, right? So Heroic is not really fighting all that much in banana because they keep getting smoked out. Now Nico used his grenades, and Hooksy still has a full kit. Now Nico is rotating back to A, or he's trying to get a nade, but yeah, you can see that Hooksy is probably calling him back simply because of this molly. Now what happens here is they get into some sort of, this is a very weird position because you get tagged once. They kind of know what happened, and Hooksy died to someone somewhere. Let's see what he did. Yeah, he picked up a molly, and yep, he's there. He tries to do retake nades. Yep, smoke molly. Where was he going? I guess he was going to push. I guess he was going to push behind that molly with Nico's flash, and that's where the flash came. from the T side, and he got killed, but Nico traded him, so it's all good. We have a crazy trade right here. I think Mones is gonna kill Tessus right now. Is that what we saw? Let's see what he does. Yeah, why did he go there? Mones was just a little bit crazy here. This is when you're a kid, when you're like don't have too much experience. This is the mistakes that you make. Like usually the ops, let's say they put James in that position. Like what do you think he would do? Would he go there or would he be going back? Now if Modesty killed this guy like he should, he made a proper call. He heard somebody drop, he caught him, and he's instead of going back towards short or back towards pit, and then you can say like, listen, Nico, we are 3v2, we lost control of long, they might be on the CTs, we're gonna retake it in 20 seconds, we're gonna retake bracket in 20 seconds and see what happens. And then he knows Nico can play with his smoke, he's good enough to play this position alone and be good for one at least. So you need to count on that instead of making this crazy play, right? And he goes here, I don't even know if he tried, why did he jump? Can't see over that shit. So he jumped, Shush heard him, he dies, and it's a 2v2. And now it's a very, very fucked situation. Shush pushes here, Hunter should have killed him. To be honest, Hunter should have got this kill. But Nico jumps and he clears Canyon. Now, most of the players wouldn't really do this. Nico, I don't even know why he did it, I guess instincts or something. And that was a good play. Cadian also made a good play by waiting. If he was waiting against 99% of the players, he'll probably get that kill and win. Now Nico plays this 1v1. He doesn't see anybody in the middle, so he knows he's banana and he wins that battle. So it's crazy. It's crazy how G2 won this round. They should have not won this round, but overall good for him. 10-9, good for them. So 10-9, they're controlling this. They're controlling the half so far, right? The money is not good, but they've been in the control since the pistol, the force buy. They made a couple of mistakes here in the first gun, but they're still overall dominating the half. It's still 4-0, and they're in a position where they can even things out. And now it's a half buy, and G2 knows it. So Monacy goes for a pick here. He doesn't see anything. And it's a very slow round. You can see that Stam with the bomb is playing super defensive. He's not allowing anything. Faking a little bit of banana control, but Nico doesn't really take the bait, but kind of does at the same time. So they don't really force any rotations, but nobody's going towards A yet. So Nico re-smokes this and keeps 2 people on B. Now, the position here, positioning for the CTs right now, it's graveyard, pit, and small pit. Now this is okay, right? It's not the worst setup for pistols. I usually would like to see side, but this is a good setup as well, especially because they have Monacy here, so all 3 can focus on the same side. So, and even JKS can flash for Monacy, Hunter can help as well. It's a solid setup, it's nothing wrong with that. And as long as you don't get, 1D'd or flashed or whatever, so you should be fine. The problem right now is because they are giving up control of bracket because they want to stop the holes pop. Let's see. Hunter is, so they got the smoke. Hunter gets up, he gets flashed. He gets only one. I think both of them got flashed with the same flash. Let's see. So we watched who was in pit, JKS. So let's see what got them. Who has flashes? Stam. Cadian has one, Stam has one. Cadian is middle. He's gonna be flashing middle as well. Let's see what happens. Justin smokes. Oh no, the same flash got both of them. Stam's flash. This is the only bad thing that can happen in this setup. Like I said, it's like if you get flashed, you're gonna get killed. Like if there was a player in sight, probably would avoid that flash. You know that Hunter likes to play in this position or this position. This flash wouldn't get him, and he would probably get like double here while protecting Justin at the same time. They were in the same line here, and the same flash off this wall got them. like of this thing, like the basic flash got them. I'm gonna watch Stam's flash and try to like follow it and see where did it pop, but I'm pretty sure this is the flash that got them both. And just not managing to kill anyone kind of ended that round immediately. Yep, you can see immediately where that happened for both of them. And it was just over at that point because Monesi had an op and he was, you know, killed. And at this point you save. Now, because you made a couple of mistakes in the first gun and you lost this against Force Buy, you're again in the position where you don't have enough money and you need to do something that you don't really practice. And it's a very difficult round to win, especially against a high-skilled team like Heroic. They're not gonna allow that many mistakes, and it's very difficult to win this this round. They go for a banana push like later on. Oh my god, Nico didn't even see that. So the idea is here to send 3 people and do kind of delayed banana take after this smoke or through this smoke. But they know at this point you just need to cancel it because you know they can be... At this point you have to cancel your call right now because you know they put this out. They can be up here because you didn't have the molly closed. Your molly deep is extinguished. They can be right here. They can be in the smoke. They can be anywhere. So you have to call this one out. Call a gamble on B, on A. It doesn't really matter. And just you need to cancel this. This is a cancel call. Just say, we're done. We're not winning this one. Just go back and try to win it in a different way. But they decide to stick with the call. It's a bit of a risk. It could have worked. It could have worked, let's be honest. But you can see that immediately, as soon as that flash popped, Shush was already on a flash. And Stan was waiting here for that flash so he can join Cadian right now. I'm gonna put this round a little bit from the beginning so you can see how it looks like from this perspective. So they put it out. This is the cancel call right here. This is the cancel call right now. You have to stop there. I said this already, but you can see right now what happens. Stam is still there. He kind of backs off, and then you can see Shush is ready. He's ready for this play. They have this play set for them to, if the CT is attack, you go for it, right? So he does this. Cadian calls it. The flash flies in. Stam goes there. Cadian trades him. He saw Nikon, he killed him. And this is like a 3v4. You have 2 Deagles and a FAMAS right now. The reaction from Tessus, I'm gonna play this for you guys, is to walk out immediately because, you know, he felt the space. He probably know the rotation was coming and there is one more guy. So the worst thing that can happen is you have a 1v1. A pretty good call. Cadian called people back and they're just splitting together. It's very difficult right now for JKS to do anything. He gets spotted in a common place. Tessus is gonna kill him, and then it's pretty much over. 12-9, they had the 1 AK. Now the option in this round is just to try something with your AKs. Try to make something work, but maybe they're gonna do something like that. It's a fair play, whatever you wanna try, something like that, either holds, push. He tries, he dies, expected from Stam. Good play from him, but it could have been a frag for Hunter too. And now you are done. Now you can't really do anything. Cadian calls people back very early on. They go into an A site a little bit. Oh yeah, this is a crazy clutch. Oh yeah, let's go and see this one. Now, what happens here, Sux is trying to help with an AK, try to take the fight. He gets a kill, tries to help as well. Good enough, waits for Nico. He gets 1. He gets 2, Monesi pushes. Every play that was from the CTs was correct so far. Like they did everything right from the very beginning. Baiting, using the 1 gun, getting the kills. Nico was with a lucky second shot, but first one was good. It's like everything is happening well for G2 right now up to this point. So they're left with Cadian. So they decide to go to Pit and Graveyard. And this is okay. Like this is fine. Molesi had the smoke that he could have used for holes, so Nico doesn't have to watch that. And I think Nico is gonna spot him. As I remember correctly. Yeah, he spots him. So right now what you can do is you can't really smoke anything else because he can pick up the bomb and go back to B. And you can just wait a little bit or swing together. They decided to swing together and they didn't trade. Like he managed to kill both. The only thing that was wrong in this decision is Monesi swinging first. So if Monesi swings Sanka with AK, he kills him. Nico had a deagle. So see how it looks like from Cadian's perspective right here. So they want to swing right now. If the first one to swing is Nico and baits a shot, and then Monesi swings with him, it kind of at the same time. This is the round for G2. Nico had a deagle. If Nico had an AK, he would trade it, but didn't happen. They lost this round. Pretty unlucky for them because they did everything right. Now they called their second timeout, only second timeout in the round 25, which is a thing to be discussed as well. Now, this is a bracket setup. The idea here, when you have this kind of bracket setup, you want them to try to go in, right? Basically, how we used to do it before and how teams used to do it, I think some of them, I don't even know, like many teams did it. You use one smoke, basically use one smoke there, just to, make it like it looks like a default and you don't use anything else. And you want to bait them coming in. You want to bait them to go in. You send either 1 or 2 people towards B, however you want to play it, but you have 3 people in the bracket setup to stop any bracket takes to kind of dissolve and disturb their default, so they have to make adjustments. Not a bad call, normal setup, many teams use it. They decide not to use any grenades, which is always very suspicious, but let's see how. And there you go. Justin was killed by Yabi because he was anti-flash. Now this is a. Let's see what angle Monesi took. Monesi is shoulder picking, right? Let's see how he plays after the molly comes in. I guess this is fine. You want to avoid being pop flashed, but let's see how this is. See, after the molly, he didn't shoulder pick whatsoever. Like Yabi just walked out and killed him straight up without him looking. And Justin was anti-flash, and I can guarantee you Justin was tilted after this one, 100%. Hunter was pushed away by the molly, and that's a problem by itself. He has to go back, and then you can see what happens here. He gets traded. Hunter doesn't go back to trade that. He has to watch for the holes and for bracket, and he decides to re-swing. Now, if Hunter was swinging with him, now this is a problem with comms because Hunter decided to go holes. To watch holes to go back defensively, and Monesi decided to go forward. Now, this is a clear problem in communication, and Monesi is probably about to die here. Let's see what happens. He gets a kill, he gets traded. Now, it's a good that he got a second kill, but most of the times he won't get that one. If he was swinging, if Hunter was swinging with him and didn't go for that holes defense, this shush would be dead and it would be a 3v2 or even 4v2. But they're right now 3v3 and it's a problematic situation. Nico is stuck behind 2 mollies. This is a problematic one. Nico does get the kill, and which was kind of a scary thing for him, but he got a good timing and he was like had the advantage there. But Monesi is Hunter is controlling this, so Huxi doesn't really need to rotate here, but Nico has top banana, so it's fine that he does. And now they need to make a decision how they want to play this 3v2. Let's see how it plays out. So they decide not to defend bracket. They decide to defend from the side. And whatever the call was, Huxi wanted to go B. I guess it was a gamble or a read, whatever it was. But the problem is that Nico can't pick anywhere. because they know that the Cadian is alive and he can be, you know, very close. Cadian can pick them and then they cannot pick him. Now Huxi has a flash. He can't really take the angle because Op could be waiting. So it's very difficult situation for G2 right now, simply because, you know, they're in a bad spots against this Op. And the only play that you can actually make is try to flash for Nico and he tries to get a kill, or leave Nico, you know, on his own and try let him get a kill and report where the second guy is, and when the guy kills him, you take the space and then you try to trade. So see what happens. He does a nade. I don't know why this nade was unnecessary. He does a flash for Nico, but Nico gets killed. He does leave Shush to 12 HP, which was a 50-50 shot, so it was fine. Hunter has a nade. I think he's gonna blow Shush up here. And then they are in 2v1. Let's see. And they know where he is. They know where he is exactly, the way they're, you know, running in. Now, what I want to do here in this 2v1, you know, I want Huxi, if he was going to clear this, to join Hunter on this one. So if Cadian swings to kill him around here, he needs to swing all the way. Hunter can trade it. If he swings on the right side, then he can get closer while he's killing him. So there is a decent chance that Huxi clutches them. The way they played it, if I remember correctly, Huxi went there. He got killed from this angle, and then Hunter was 1-in-1, and then Cadian swung and killed him too. So, let's see. Yep. They know he is there. Now, this is a good clutch from Cadian. Let's not, you know, bash too much on G2, but there was a better way to play this clutch. Obviously, it's a split-second decision. It's high-pressure game. It's fine that these things happen. Like, I'm more worried about these other things than this one. Now they force. Another bracket setup, not very well defended. Now this is I don't understand this one, to be honest with you, because they try to go for banana take, but the utilities, actually, it may not have been the worst call. They don't have any kids. They have a small weak weaponry, sorry, and they have nothing else to do besides take banana and fight like in close range combat, right? So they decide to do this, but Heroic doesn't take the fights early on, which is super smart. They don't really go for it. They decide to go play slow default. They don't allow any kind of crazy advantage to the CTs. They're just playing it, you know, defensively. Let's see what KD calls. They got the holes control. They're faking bracket, and let's see, let's speed it up. So they're not really sure yet what to do. They're still waiting, 45 seconds left, but they still have enough utility. And you see the difference. Like, they just used one flash here, but they still have 3 flashes remaining. That's the difference between tier 1 team that's going for the titles, that's fair practice, and a team that isn't. So, like, some of the small details. Let's see what they call. So they're going back to A with Stam really, you know, faking B. Now, the problem with the CTs right now is this setup doesn't make any sense. At 49 with this kind of guns, you have no utility, you have no kit, you have weak weaponry. What you're gonna expect? Huxi to get a double kill with CZ and Nico try to run through some sort of a smoke without a flash. If they go B, just go back to A or go back to B and gamble with 5 people or at least 4. They decided for the worst option, 3-2, and it's just a walk in the park for Heroic, I believe. Stavn doesn't even need to be there, and he understands that, like, they either half buy or forced. We need all the people that we can get. They just walk in, kill Monacy, kill JKS. Round is over. What's Hunter gonna do? Probably kill one, eat that, and the round is good. Yeah, he kills one, 59. That's it. And right now, because you forced the last round, now your money is again limited. You have some M4s. But at this point, it's very difficult to come back. They go with 3B, again, defensive default from Heroic. They don't really force any fights early on. They don't need it. They're pretty good, like, in controlling the pace so far, and controlling the game overall in the most of the game itself. Now, Nico already died in this He died again. It's a 5v4, and look at the immediate call from Cadian to group up on B. Now Monesi is there with an M4, and Hooksy is there with the full kit. Now what can happen here, either Monesi waits for the flash from Hooksy, he's holding a flash, and tries to fight, or he maybe flashes for him for Monesi to go back. And you hope they're gonna come towards B. So let's see what happens. They spot Monesi, he goes back. Let's see what Hooksy does. He doesn't use the molly or the smoke. He swings for the spray. He whips it. The round is over and it's done. So I think that covers up the whole thing. So basically, you can see here how many mistakes they made. You can see how many bad decisions individually and team-wise. How many mistakes with utility and like overthinking things, and overall the better team won this map, even though G2 was super good on Inferno. So that, like I said, this is I did this today just before the game between FaZe and Inferno, so we can kind of compare these two maps when the time comes to see like if G2 is gonna fix their mistakes, or they're gonna keep playing on the same level they did against Heroic. Is it gonna be better or worse? We're gonna end up seeing tonight. And guys, if you like this type of content, just make sure you leave a comment. What do you think about the demo analysis, and write down if you want any kind of other teams that I want to, go and look at, and any other, matches or finals, semifinals, whatever, and tell me what you think. Please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And yeah, I think that is it for today. Let's enjoy the quarterfinals. All right, guys, just want to remind you that 1xBet is an official partner of my channel. And if you're a gambling person, if you're over 18, make sure you go check it out. Use the code 1xKassad or Kassad1x. There is a link in the description. And you get up to €130 bonus directly from me. So go check it out and have fun. See ya.